Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hobbits. Today checking out some more Californian beer. We've been getting loads of Californian craft beer lately from loads of different breweries, which is awesome. Cali's beer scene is still just it's always been one of the most amazing beer places to go in the world. It's one of the beer meccas, just traveling along the coast, going from south to north. There's so many great breweries. Well, pretty much all over the states there's great breweries nowadays, but I think that's one of like the must pilgrimages in beer is California. But we're checking out some 8-bit brewing beer from Murrieta, California. And one of them is Twisted Kettle, which I got on Beerjum. They were kind enough to send this along with a few other 8-bit beers. But then we also got Fruitmanji that we got from Steve all the way from California. Steve sent me 16 cans of all kinds of stuff. Like electric, 8-bit, like just boatloads of things. Green cheek. It was just, a surprising amount of beer, but it was really, really kind of you, dude. Thanks a ton. All the way to Denmark. So we're getting to try a lot of awesome local stuff. I believe they are in Murrieta, California, 8-bit. It's hard to find out here on the label, but I believe they're in the same city as Electric. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, we got two beers. I think we're going to start off with this one that we got from Beerjum just because this one looks a bit funky, but I'm not sure. It might just with blueberries, so maybe it's just, if it's real blueberries, you get just a light hint of color. But first off, what I like with these, they look like they're going to taste like kettle sours. They don't look like fruited monsters, even though they can be fun enough. But let's start off with this one. So this is Twisted Kettle, which is an awesome, obvious reference to Twisted Metal, the racing game where you trash cars, I believe. I think I played, was it on PS1? I think it was. But yeah, kettle sour with acai berries, blueberries, and bananas on 6.3%. Actually, we should have started there then, but we'll start with this one because this was the one I got first. So pours a red color in the glass. There is some slightly pinkish hues to it, but otherwise it looks kind of classic red. Head faded really quickly. It was pink, but it was like, so this might be quite sour, but let's check it out. Oh no, it's like very, banana forward, but like, is that a acai berry? There's always something like a caramelized thing in there. It almost reminds me of cola for some reason. It definitely smells like beer first, crazy sour beer with fruits last. Because there's definitely like some kind of, is it caramel malt? There's like a maltiness to it for sure. It's really hard to pinpoint with the fruit edition. And like I've never actually had acai berries, so I'm not entirely sure how they actually. Oh no, wait, I did. Acai berries. I think I might have had it actually in a smoothie or no ice cream form. They're like really dark. It's a superfood, right? I can't remember. It was. I remember that if that's it. What I remember is that it was almost like tannic, like cranberries or something, but it had like loads of depth to it. And I kind of sense that in here. The bananas is a bit soft. And there's a blueberry note too, but yeah, it smells nice. Let's give it a taste, guys. Cheers, and thanks to Beerjum for this one. Not as sour as I expected at all. Medium balanced sourness. There is a little bit of a wheatiness, some maltiness. Like, this is not something where you should expect like full on crazy onrush of fruit. It's more balanced. It's more reminding me of what. Like the types of kettle sours you'd make, like a lot of craft brewers make a few years ago, like 5-6 years ago, like lactically sour with a nice fruit addition. You still taste that wheaty, crackery base, which I enjoy. I could definitely drink more of this than the like crazy sweet smoothie style beers. But that being said, I'm not like blown away. I definitely think Mario Tart is the one we had in the Christmas calendar is one of the best so far of these from these guys. It's like honey vibes, like tannic blueberry. It's quite well balanced, easygoing stuff. It's more reminiscent of like a Berliner Weisse or something where there's a lot of lactic acid flavor too, and like almost like a yogurty thing. But it's like think more balance and easygoing beer and beer you can have a few of than like just like this like smack in the face style kettle sour. I will say I could use just a little beefed up flavor, but not a lot more. Like it's like I just want the the berries and whatnot, and the banana, and well, the banana is there, but like if things stood out a bit more, that would be nice. But that being said, it's still tasty. But let's jump over to the one Steve sent, Fruitmanji. Man, that is an amazing label. I love that. It just reminds me of, well, of course, Jumanji. That was such a fantastic film back in the day. Actually, the remake was much better than I expected. And I also watched the cartoon as a kid. Well, I love the whole Jumanji thing. But this one is a kettle sour with blueberry and marshmallow, 6%. So marshmallows can go either way. But this one's just like, look at that. That does not look appealing. At first glance, when I poured this, I was like, oh no, is this going to be oxidized? But thinking of it is like if they use real blueberry or just like whatever blueberry pulp and puree, like blueberries have, depending on what blueberry it is, because there's bilberry and blueberry, and I believe bilberries have more of that like deep reddish color, whereas like the inside of a blueberry is more towards this color, actually, when you think of it. So that might be the reason, like it's just not like puree or something, because it looks, yeah, it's like a grayish orange. It's not the prettiest beer, almost like a green hue to this one too. White hen on it. Let's check out the aroma on Fruitmanji. Yeah, I'm definitely getting the marshmallow first. It's like, it's almost like a marshmallow fluffy yogurt thing. So this is towards something that's a bit like smoothie pastry, but it's not like as nuts as some of the other beers I've had in this style. There's almost like a blueberry bubblegum thing because of the marshmallow, I think. Yeah, it's like a blueberry bubblegum. Hubba Bubba is a brand we have in Scandinavia. And it's like these gums they make. Like it's reminding me of something like that. There is also a bit of a crackery malty thing underneath, but yeah, I don't smell, oxidized per se. It's just a way different aroma than I expected, really, I guess. Let's give it a taste, guys. Cheers, and thanks a ton to Steve for the beer. Totally bubblegummy. Like crazily blueberry bubblegum forward. Blueberry bubblegum, sour blueberry bubblegum. That is super weird. Like, the marshmallow is really playing with a touch of vanilla. But for some reason, the vanilla and everything just transitions into this, like, super funky, weird blueberry gum thing. It's also a little bit richer than, like, in body and whatnot. Maybe because of the marshmallows. Than Twisted Kettle. It has a bit more body than that, but it tastes less like, it still tastes like a kettle sour for sure. It's not like one of these crazy, it's like a kettle sour with a soft addition of like a marshmallow blueberry thing. Well, soft. It's actually quite forward. But it's, again, like, it's just like, it's not as almost obnoxiously extreme as some of all these crazy fruit beret beers. It's just where people just go nuts. Like, this still tastes like something like a Berliner Weisse. Just like that. Just with a different addition. If you ever go to Berlin and you go to Berliner Kindle and whatnot, like you had these syrups and whatnot added into your beer, it's almost like a craft experience of that. I don't want to say similar because often those syrups are kind of shitty, and this isn't. But I'd say I definitely prefer this over any of the crazy fruited kings and whatnot I had recently. Just because it's just much more drinkable, and it's actually sour, and there's a taste of malt and whatnot. Like, still, for me, it's the funky stuff. If it's sour, it's like, that's where I'm at. But yeah, this one's my favorite. I think it might be the Fruitmanji, which is super weird because I'm usually not that into blueberries and marshmallows and beers. Just because like this feels a bit watery actually, but it's also a bit more sour and bit more fizzy and whatnot. I don't know. Like the can here was also really hard, so maybe there is some bacteria eating some of the sugars from the fruit. That sometimes happens. I think this is also a fresher release. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Much fresher. So that might be why. Like a lot of these beers that have so much fruit and whatnot in it, you should also drink those quite fresh, really, to get the full impact of them. Yeah, the more I'm like, at first I was like, with this, but the more I'm drinking it, the more I'm enjoying it, actually. Let's go with some ratings here. So, Twisted Kettle. 83. You know, it's pretty decent. It's not something I'm jumping for joy over. The more I'm drinking it, the more I feel like it's kind of thin and slightly watery. 85, I think, on a Fruitmanji. It's interesting with that bubblegum thing, like blueberry bubblegum. Yeah, that's better. It's got a bit more body. It's just a bit more flavorsome, but it's, you know, it's not extreme over the top, even though it has marshmallows and whatnot in it. But it's nice. It's nice. I think this is a good entryway beer into, if people, you know, want to experience kettle sours and sour beers, because they're not like crazy stupid sour, and they're fairly well balanced. They're wheaty. They're still like slightly bready and crisp and malty. It's not necessarily just all fruit, which is nice. But I'm also not like, whoa, this is amazing. Like, I really like the other beers so far I've had from 8-Bit more, and I still think the Mario Kart reference beer we had in the Christmas calendar was better than these as well. Like, that was a bit more upfront with the flavors, but that was just such a crusher. Well, that orange flavor. But yeah, this was fun. So if you guys had a chance to try either the Twisted Kettle or the Fruitmanji from 8-Bit Brewing Company, let me know what you thought of them. Thanks a ton to Beer Jump, but also Steve, of course, for the cans here. And if you guys had a chance to try either of these two, one sec. Achoo! If you guys had a chance to try either of these two, let me know what you thought of them. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos, and I'm going to say cheers. And see you guys in another beer review.